Why does a chicken lay eggs almost every day, while most wild birds only lay eggs during spring? It sounds like a simple farm question, but it reveals something much bigger, because the egg on your breakfast plate is not just the result of nature, it is the result of thousands of years of human influence. Wild birds do not usually lay eggs every day all year. Most of them wait for the right season. They lay when food is available, temperatures are safer, and chicks have the best chance of survival. So why are chickens different? The short answer is this: chickens are not wild birds anymore. They are domesticated birds that humans slowly changed over time. But to understand how that happened, we need to start with the wild bird inside every chicken. Modern chickens are descended mainly from the red junglefowl, a bird from South and Southeast Asia. The red junglefowl does not naturally produce hundreds of eggs a year like many modern hens. Like other wild birds, it follows the rhythms of nature. In the wild, laying eggs is expensive. An egg may look small to us, but for a bird, it is a major investment. It takes energy, protein, calcium, water, and time. Every egg contains nutrients that could have been used for the bird's own body. So wild birds do not lay endlessly. They lay when it makes sense. For many birds, spring is the best time. Days get longer. Insects return. Plants grow. Temperatures become milder. There's more food for parents and chicks. The whole environment becomes more supportive of reproduction. That is why spring is nesting season for so many birds. Their bodies respond to signals from the environment, especially daylight. Longer days tell the bird's brain that breeding season has arrived. Hormones shift. The reproductive system becomes active. Nesting begins. Eggs are laid. Then once the clutch is complete, many birds stop laying. A clutch is the full set of eggs a bird lays for one nesting attempt. For a robin, that might be a few eggs. For a duck, it might be more, but it is not endless. The bird lays enough eggs to start a family, then focuses on incubation and raising young. That is the wild pattern. Chickens came from that world, but humans changed the rules. When people began keeping junglefowl, they likely valued them for meat, feathers, fighting, religious uses, and eventually eggs. Over many generations, people kept the birds that were useful, manageable, and productive. If one hen laid more eggs than another, that hen was valuable. If her offspring also laid more eggs, they were valuable too. Over time, humans selected chickens that laid more often, started laying sooner, and continued laying for longer parts of the year. This is called selective breeding. It does not happen overnight, but across thousands of years, small choices add up. A bird that once laid seasonally became a bird that could lay again and again. Then modern agriculture pushed that process much further. Today's egg-laying hens have been bred specifically for high egg production. Some breeds and commercial lines can lay hundreds of eggs in a year under the right conditions. That is not what most wild birds are built to do. It is the result of the domestication and focused breeding. But breeding is only part of the story. Another major factor is food. A wild bird must find every meal. If food is scarce, egg-laying slows or stops. The bird's body cannot afford to produce eggs if it is struggling to survive. A domestic chicken usually has steady access to feed. That feed is designed to support egg production. It contains energy, protein, minerals, and calcium. Calcium is especially important because eggshells require a lot of it. When a hen has reliable food every day, her body receives a very different message from the environment. There is enough. Keep producing. This is one reason chickens can lay far more often than their wild relatives. They live in a world of human-supported abundance. Another factor is safety. Wild birds face predators, weather, disease, and competition. Raising chicks is risky. Every reproductive decision matters. A chicken in a coop or farm still has health risks, but it is often protected from many wild dangers. It does not have to build a hidden nest in a tree or defend chicks from every predator alone. That controlled environment helps make frequent laying possible. Then there is light. This part is extremely important. Bird reproduction is strongly connected to day length. When days get longer, many birds become more reproductively active. When days get shorter, egg production often slows. Chickens are no exception. Backyard chicken keepers often notice that hens lay fewer eggs in winter. Shorter days send the body a signal to reduce laying, but farms can use artificial lighting to extend the hen's perceived day length. To the chicken's body, longer light exposure can feel like a longer breeding season. This does not mean chickens are machines. It means their biology is responding to environmental cues. Humans learned those cues and built farming systems around them. So when people ask, why do chickens lay eggs every day? The answer is not one thing. It is the combination of selective breeding, constant food, protection, and controlled light. Together, those conditions create a bird that lays far more often than a wild bird would. But there is another common question. Why do chickens lay eggs even when there is no rooster? This surprises many people. The answer is simple. Hens produce eggs as part of their reproductive cycle. A rooster is only needed to fertilize the egg. Without a rooster, the hen can still lay an egg, but that egg will not develop into a chick. This is similar to how a female body can release an egg without pregnancy. In chickens, the egg still forms, gets a shell, and is laid. That is why grocery store eggs are usually unfertilized. They were produced by hens without needing a rooster. To the hen, laying the egg and creating a chick are connected processes, but they are not the same thing. Fertilization requires a rooster. Egg laying does not. Now, there is a deeper question behind all of this. Is daily egg laying natural? The honest answer is complicated. Chickens are natural animals, and laying eggs is a natural process. But the frequency of laying in modern hens is not the same as what you would expect in a wild bird. It has been intensified by human choices. A modern egg-laying hen is like many domesticated animals and plants. Corn does not look like its wild ancestor. Dogs do not behave exactly like wolves. Dairy cows produce much more milk than wild cattle would need for a calf. And egg-laying chickens produce far more eggs than their wild ancestors would have laid. Domestication changes living things. Sometimes the changes are useful to humans, but they can also create welfare concerns. Laying many eggs can put stress on a hen's body. It requires nutrients, especially calcium. If the bird does not get proper care, egg production can contribute to health problems. That is why good nutrition, rest, space, and responsible animal care matter. The goal should not be to see chickens as egg machines. They are living animals with biological limits. And even high-producing hens do not lay perfectly every day forever. Their laying depends on age, breed, health, diet, stress, light, temperature, and season. Young hens often lay more frequently. Older hens usually slow down. Molting, illness, or winter light changes can reduce production. So, every day is a useful phrase, but it is not literally true for every chicken all the time. Many hens lay often. Some lay almost daily during peak periods, but they still have bodies that respond to conditions. That matters because it brings us back to wild birds. Wild birds are not inefficient because they lay fewer eggs. They are optimized for survival in the wild. A bird that lays too many eggs at the wrong time could waste energy, attract predators, or fail to feed its chicks. For wild birds, timing is everything. For domestic chickens, humans change the timing. We provided food when winter would normally limit it. We provided shelter when predators would normally threaten it. We provided light when short days would normally slow it. And we bred the birds that kept producing. The result is one of the most familiar foods in the world, the chicken egg. Simple, ordinary, and easy to overlook. But inside that egg is a story of evolution, farming, and human selection. It is the story of a wild jungle bird becoming a global food source. It is the story of nature's seasonal rhythm being stretched by human hands. And it is the reason your breakfast can appear every morning, even though most wild birds wait for spring. So the next time you crack an egg, remember this. You are not just opening a shell, you are opening thousands of years of history. Because a chicken does not lay like a wild bird. It lays like a bird whose world was redesigned by humans.